So I'll show you the power, right? How effective it is, right? So how it is gonna go and leverage, or how it is gonna go and help. And like we do have a scarcity, right? So whether AI will gonna go and replace the jobs, right? What is gonna go and happen in the market, right? If we go for this is a buzz going on, right? So how many of you are having this question in your mind? So will AI gonna go and replace the job? Just type in like me in the chat box. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Satya, Kiran, Suresh, Survesh, Sarvesh rather. Who else?
Yes, Rahul Sarvesh.
Sorry, yeah, thanks. Pankaj, Motorola. Don't know like who these guys. So can I just rename your like name over here? So we do have the option there, so that I can understand like with whom I'm speaking, right? Yeah. So this may be happen, right? So because the this has two aspects, right? When we say whether AI will gonna go and replace our job or not, so it has two aspects. It has yes answer and it has no as well, right? So if you ask me, for me, whether my job will be replaced by AI, I'll say no. But yes, if you are a fresher, if you are just learner, if you having 1 or 2 years of experience, then yes, I'll say yes, definitely. That's gonna go and happen. So if you want to secure your job, right, or secure your future in the industry, this is something which is you must learn and adopt it, right? So reason being, from my team only, I'll give the live example. From my team only, I rolled off two resources because I don't need them now. I'm leveraging the power of AI. So whatever task I was doing, and like I don't need those two resources now. So I'm using it on different areas, and like is doing my job. So that's what like its answer is yes or no. So it will gonna help you if you understand how to use it in a correct way. So let's understand. I'll give you some glimpse today how it will gonna go and useful in different aspects, right? So first, what we can do is, so anyone like apart from this, anyone any question you want to ask before we start? It will be replaced by the person who knows how to use the AI in your. That's true. That's absolutely true, Yuvraj. Right? So it will replace by the person who knows how to use the AI in your day-to-day work. That's absolutely fine. Yeah, that's the perfect answer. So if you know the AI, so it will gonna go and replace you with the help of that individual. Yeah. So that's gonna go and happen there in the market, right? So let's understand it. So today's workshop is all about that. So how we can leverage it, how we can use it, right? So giving you a simple glimpse on that, right? So to start with, what I did is I created this cloud boot, right? So when I'm saying the AI agent, so this is something what I did it, right? So we know, right? So we multiple industries are designing their AI agents, right, to perform their work. So this is simple AI agent I designed for me, right? And this agent will gonna go and perform my work. So whatever I'll be asking to him, so it will gonna go and perform my work. Instead of going to chat GPT and asking the questions, this will gonna go and perform my selected uh, task, right? So what I did, I give him the access, I give him the parameters to work on the Selenium and then the SQL, MySQL, Selenium, MySQL, and WebBranch, right? Web search. These are the three different parameters I have been specified to him so that it will gonna go and work on that, right? So the scope of this particular agent, I have defined the scope of this agent. Whereas if I go to the chat GPT, the scope is not defined. This is going to go and use their LLM model to analyze and give the result based on that. So what are questions I'll be asking to this agent particular to my project, my requirement will not be answered by the chat GPT, because chat GPT will not understand or will not have the what we can say that the understanding of what I uh, about my database and what are different things I'm configured with this particular agent. So in industry, when we are saying the agents, we need to configure our agents based on our requirement, based on our business requirements, right? So to start with, so what I like, this is what my simple database. Okay, so I created the database MySQL workbench, right? So I just install this database. You can see over here. This is what my workbench is. MySQL database has been installed there, and this is what the user interface to interact with that database. And I created the database called as user biomet automation. Use biomet automation. That's what my database. Now, what are the different tables available in the database? I'll show you with the help of this file, notepad file, so that you'll be able to understand. So this is what database I'm using this database, and in this database we have different tables: registration details, users, right? And then user names, and then the customer. So if I want to see what are different database available over here, so I do have the command. I can say show databases. So it's gonna go and show me the different databases available in the uh, this particular database, right? So let's try to do that, or if I want to get any details from any of the particular table, so I can directly get and fire that query. Let's take an example, this registration details. Okay, so if I, the a simple query to get any details from the database. So if I use this command, select star from registration details. So if I fire this command over here, so it will gonna go and give me. So what are different users register for this database. So we got this output here. You can see it. I got these users here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. So this is because this is we are directly hitting the query into the database. That's what the traditional way to work with the database, right? So we are hitting the query whatever we want from the database. Now let's understand it. Now let's see this example with the help of this agent. Whether this agent will gonna go and give me the same result or not. Okay. We got it here. Okay. So now, if I directly ask, uh, let's, so now over here, in order to use the AI agent, right? So what is needed is what? The prompt engineering. Yeah. So prompt is something which is very interesting, right? That is something which is we need to learn and understand how do we do it. So we did this query, right? Select star from registration details, right? So now how this will gonna go? This will just give me the users available over here in this database. Now the same like I can use the AI prompts. So what I will gonna say, read. This is what my database, right? You have seen the bioman automation. Read this database and give me list of the registered user. Yeah, so this is something which is the prompt I need to use and provide to this agent. Let's see what it's gonna do for us. Okay, it started working. See, it is preparing SQL on the fly, right? So it did prepare two SQLs here. First SQL is this, second SQL is this. So I'll query the database given the list of users. Let me check the structure and relevant tables. See, now we got the output, right? Total registered user is 5. The same users we got over here. And if you just check out what it does is, see, first it queries show tables, because this may not know how many tables are there. So it prepared two tables for himself. Yeah. So it understand like I need to read this particular database and I need to fetch the results from any particular this database. So first it queried the tables. So now in response it got we got four tables here. See, customer order registered registration details and username. That's what the tables here. If I just go ahead and fire this query here as well, so I'll be get the same output. Yeah. So if I go here, show tables, I'll be able to see the same output. See, customer orders registration details and username. That's what he did. He fired this query first, prepared that query by himself, fired that query, got this output there, and after getting this output, now he has to understand, okay, which database I need to, which table I need to go for registered user. So now it again prepare the query, see, select star form registration details, and it fetch the response in this format, right? This is what the format. So now we haven't specified any format to display. That's what it displayed in this way, right? It displayed in this way. So if you specify any format, it will give in that way. So again, if I just now it read that file, so I can write something. I'll just modify that. So now it understand, right? Which table to read. Give me the list of registered users in table format. As we haven't specified any format, so he just gave the data in his way, right? But we want it in some particular format, in table format, so that it will be easy for us to understand. It will again query the database. You see, now it's fetching data in terms of in the form of tables, right? Total number of users 5. And this is the same output we are getting over here if I'm firing, if I'm running this query, right? That's So now you might be wondering, right? So I just enter the SQL query here, two prompt here, and it gave me the output. So what if I just copy the same prompt and if I go to the chat GPT and if I ask this to give me this output, let's see what it's gonna do. The chat GPT will not be able to understand what is this database because he do not have the understanding of this particular database because this is something my project specific, right? This is the LLM model which do not have any particular or the private repository access. This is the global access. So it probably will give you the commands. See, it has given nothing to me because he do not have the understanding of what is this biomed automation database. Because this is something my project specific database. He do not have understanding of that. That's what like he will not get the result over here, right? Because this is open source, widely used database. He do not have that understanding. But yes, this is what the chatbot agent, AI agent, which I created, and it has the understanding of this database, my SQL database, and then the Selenium. So we can integrate all this together so that the chatbot or my AI agent will gonna go and work accordingly, right? That's there. So now this is what we are doing, right, in real life, right? So when I say the database testing, like we do have different queries there, right? We need to fire the different queries. So let's take an example. So this is what it is, right? Let's take an example. This is the query. Let me fire this query. Can anyone tell me what this query gonna go and do? If you are know some kind of the SQL, if you are aware of, so what this query gonna go and do? It gave me one output. Total solution INC. Take solution INC. So the query is right. Select company is gonna go and select the company, right? And we need to get the count as a total orders from order group by company having count greater than 1 means we need to select the company from these orders and company data table, right? From these order tables, who got the order greater than 1. Yeah, that was the company just want over here. So total number of orders, you can see this company has 2 orders. That's what it showed me, this particular company name. I want company name, right? That's what it showed me to the company name, and it has a 2 orders there. So this is a complicated query, SQL query, right? So where we have some, from and then group by, having count, right? This is what our day-to-day life when we do the database testing. Now, how I can get this in terms of simple my AI agent, right? Simple, right? The AI prompt for this, give me the list of the companies who has more than one orders. Simple, straightforward, right? I do not need to spend my time to go into this technicality, right? So how easy it is in plain English. This is what we get the requirement documents, right? Whenever we get the requirement documents, the business is going to go and ask us the straightforward questions, right? Give me the list of the companies who has more than one order. Then we need to prepare our SQL and then we get that output. Whereas if I just go ahead and use this prompt and ask my AI agent to work on it, so probably it will going to go and give me the output, right? Orders in table format. Which format you want, just mention there. Probably will get the output in the correct way. Is preparing SQL here, probably the executing one. Let's see. Text solution INC. It has two orders, order ID 1 and 9, laptop, technical support, order dates, and everything it has been given in the table. Only one company tech solution has placed more than one order in the system. Okay, right? So plain AI prompt. That's what we're gonna give and see. Select star from limit and like it has prepared his SQL in his way, right? It has prepared SQL in his way, and then he executed that SQL. Group by, order by, you can say having count star greater than one and descending order and all those. It did SQL in his way, but the output is the same. You can see the text solution to over here as well. Same we got as an output. Whereas we have more information, right? We have order ID as well. We have subject as well. What order is it has been placed and when it has been placed. That orders ID is also here. In summary as well, we have been like it has provided summary as well. Whereas in traditional way, we got only one output there. So this is what how it is, right? So now this is something which we need to understand, right? This is something which we need to understand. How do we do this? How do we create this chatbot? How do we integrate all these components together, and how we can leverage this? That's something we need to understand. And at the same time, we also need to have this understanding. If you are not able to understand what is this, then probably this is making no sense. Because whatever output is has been given, it is right or wrong, who is going to go and validate that? That is something which is we need to be very careful of. So we need to have the understanding. The person who is having the technical understanding will be this AI is very useful for them. Who is having the technical understanding, right? Same goes in automation testing. So this is something which we saw in terms of the database testing. So there are a couple of more SQLs we can try it out and work it out. So it will give me the different details with that. Yeah. So give me the list of the users. Give me all order details. Let's fire this AI prompt. Yeah? Give me all orders details. So it will give me the all orders. Again, I'll say in table form so that our life will be easy to understand. If you ask him to export an Excel file, it will do that for us. How to extract the data from this? Just ask him like to export the output in the Excel format, and it will do that for us. See, this is what the all orders. The company, right? So we have seen this. This company had placed the order for the laptop. Again, probably for the technical support. That's what we have seen. Two orders it has placed, right? Solution, tech solution limited. And this is what all order has been placed. Total 10 orders we do have. That's what it is. Order number one and order number, I believe, this one. This order number one and order number nine. That's what our output. Order number one, output, order number nine. That's what it is. Yeah? Order number one, order number nine. Laptop and technical support. Right? So I can export this into Excel file. It will do that for me as well. So that is what how it is. Excel, Word, whatever you want, it will do for that. Yeah. Or if you want to share it, it can be shareable. You can share that as well. It will create the link and you can share this output directly to whoever it wants, right? To whoever you want to go and report. So how do you feel, guys? Like, do you really want to understand this? How this is going to go and happen? I showed you the output, right? This is what the output. But but behind this, we do need to have the setup. We have to set up all this. We have to integrate all these components together. Then we will be able to do this. Because see, this LLM model with this AI agent is using his own LLM model, right? So we have defined the LLM models which it needs to understand. We have defined the MCP, right? We have defined the MCP which it needs to use. Whereas in Open ChatGPT, it do not have MCP. It has its LLM model and it's using that one to work on, right? That's what happens. So you guys tried this one by your own, by anyways. Anyone? So you can unmute yourself if you want to speak, or you can type in the chat box. All right, that's fine. I guess no one has tried, so that's what probably you may not know the how this AI gonna go. Now this is something a thread, right? This is something the challenge for the person who is having the technical understanding, right? So now I may not need to understand all this technicality, right? I can just only understand, okay, this is what the SQL, this is what the written in the plain English. Probably I'll go and fire that command and I'll get my output, right? So I do not need to bang my head to write all these complicated SQL queries there. That's what it is. So let's go for now. Based on this, like this is simple example. So based on this, we can prepare n number of SQLs, right? So and like we can go ahead and work on that, right? So that's there. So it's altogether different concepts of this database testing we can do. So now let's come to the. So how was it like? You guys liked it, surprised it, or it just want to understand from your end? How do you feel like? Is it useful to learn this? Hmm. Your voice is low. So I want this session to be interactive, guys. Like if you're not interacting, if you're not asking, then I mean I'm not able to understand. Now it's fine. Okay, that's fine. All right. So this is something what related to the database. Let's move on to the Selenium. Okay. So let's go to the Selenium. Need to understand how it works and how to implement. That's a long story. How to implement, that's something which is the the crucial component. It's not a straightforward to implement it, right? But yes, I'm showing you how this has been leveraged, how this has been used. Okay, how to implement is something which is we need to get into a deep dive for that. How to implement that, right? So this is something which is the Selenium code base, rather a complete framework. Yeah. So if you ask me to design this framework, probably I'm gonna go and take a minimum 3 week times. I need 3 weeks time to design, not less than that. It is gonna go and take that much time for me to realize, understand, create and integrate all components together. That's what the general time we take when we are onboarding any project and when we start automation for any of the project. So when it comes to design the framework, that's what the minimum time. Usually we propose 1 month for the framework design by considering all setup and getting accesses and everything. But with the help of AI, this is I have written nothing over here. This complete code base, this complete framework is being designed by the AI agent. I did nothing over here. I just used simple prompt and it has been given me this complete structure. And like you can see the test cases also it has prepared. Yeah. the sign up test case, the login test case. Yeah. So it has written all test case, all code base, everything for us. But we need to understand. Yeah. So as an automation tester, as an automation, the engineer, I'm able to understand what this is all about. What this AI does, I able to understand. Right. What does this mean? Right? Why it is been written in this way? Why we have all these folder structure here? What is the significance of all these folder structures? Why these are in this way? Right? I'm able to understand because I do have that understanding. Right? I design my framework. I design so many frameworks by my own. So like when AI is giving this output, it's easy for me to understand, and that's what I do not need two more resources in my team, and I said okay, I just want to roll off these guys because this is gonna go and do it, right? So if you want to see this, I can like quickly go ahead and create this framework in front of you, right? So we can create completely from the scratch. So do you guys want me to do that? Shall we go for it to create it from the scratch? So if I get minimum, how many guys are there in the meeting? So we have 13, 14 guys there. I need to have all 14s. Then probably yes. Then I'll be go for it.
Yes, Rahul.
Yes, 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 please, yes, please. Okay. All right. Let's go ahead. Let's go ahead. So let's create a new folder. All for that matter. Let's go other way around. Let me create one empty folder first, and then probably we'll do it that. Let's create a new folder. Let me go. This is what we created today, right? 1511. Just now we have created. We have nothing like empty folder. So this is what the empty folder. It has nothing in it. Right? If I expand, we have nothing. Just outline and time. So this there. It's asking me to create new files and everything. Where it is. This is where I do have. This is what my built with agent. So this is what this window is very short. So probably we may not be able to understand. So what I can do is I'll just open it in new window so that we'll get the maximized view. So I'll just close this and this available, right? So this is the maximized view. So you'll be able to see is work here, right? So what I can do is I'll just instead of just what so as of now we do not have anything, right? This folder is blank. This folder is empty. Right? That's what it is. We do not have anything. So let's give it a command. So if you see over here, so all this thing has been integrated. You can see for this agent. So you can see the GitHub has been integrated with it. So it's up and running there. You know, right? What is GitHub? MySQL Server, Playwright, Selenium, Python. All these are integrated with it today. Yeah, that's that. So let's give a first command. Um, Create Selenium. Okay, simple command, right? Very straightforward to understand. Just create Selenium with Java automation testing framework in this particular folder, right? So just simple prompt. I ask nothing. So like just see what it's gonna go and do. So it is gonna go and use Selenium and Java programming language to design the automation testing framework in this particular folder. Yeah. So let's cross our finger and let's see what it's gonna do. I tried it like some week back, but let's see today live. I was not prepared for this live, but let's see it live. So we need to say enable this to get all the accesses. We started working. Now, if you just read it out, right? Once this has been done, so if you read out his what you can say that the process which he has been following, that is from what the process he's been doing, so you'll be able to understand. Now, say he started doing that. The very first thing which we need to do is to create the pom.xml, and that's what he did. Then he created the testing.xml. Now it has created the log4j properties file. See, it is started doing all this stuff one by one after another. Now it has created the config.properties file. So it's creating a different files. Config manager.java file it has been created. You can see the file has been increasing over here, right? It has created this src folder as well here. See, it's been writing the code by its own. So I'll explain this all these things to you, what it is doing. It has created the resources folder here, Java folder here, right? This folder package has been created. Let it do its work. If I want to do all this manually, and if I want to integrate all this together, it will at least gonna go and take 3 weeks of time to analyze, to integrate, to get it ready, to get it execute, to perform all this stuff. Minimum 3 weeks is what the estimation we used to provide. And look at how much time it will gonna go and take. Simple AI prompt, yeah. So create a Selenium with Java automation framework in this particular folder, and it started doing its work. But how come he's doing, right? If you ask the same to ask, if you ask the same thing to ChatGPT, probably it will not be able to do it because this MCP which we need to configure with this. See, it created the login page.java. It created the base test, login test. See, it has created the login test as well for us. It has created everything by its own. Now, what is my job now? If it is doing everything for me, probably hardly it will gonna take another 5 minutes to do that. And what is my job now? Anyone wants to add?
to make it align with the project requirements.
Absolutely. To make it align with our project need. So what it is, it has does like what it's doing is creating the skeleton for me, right? So it's creating the what are all different common utils I need my framework to start with is doing that. So I need to fit in my project related requirements in this framework now. This is what all generic things I need for my project to start with or my test case to start with. That's what it's doing now.
Yeah, sir. Meanwhile, I have another question.
Mhm,
Do we need any prerequisite even for the lateral? So, say, suppose example, a person who is holding 7 years of experience in manual testing.
mhm.
So, if we have this kind of agents with us, so how can we? I mean, per se, without knowing the base knowledge, right? How can we sustain with this aid? If suppose it is not working properly or something, we need to jump in and get our hands dirty, right? But without knowing the base level, how can it would be possible?
That's
Yeah.
what you got it correctly, right? The person who do not understand what is this AI agent is not for that person, to be honest. So what this thing is all about, what it has been written, the person who do not understand that this AI agent is not for that person. To answer, to be very honest. Because if you don't know what is this, then like what is the use of this, right? So if you don't know how to drive the car, then like it's of no use, right? Whichever cars come across, it's of no use for you if you do not know how to drive it. Whether it is the Maruti Suzuki or it's a Lamborghini, it does make nothing for you because you don't know how to drive it, right?
Understood.
That's the simple answer for your question. And like for this matter, this is a co-pilot we are using. If anyone is having the question, which AI tool we are leveraging over here, the co-pilot is what we are using over here. Yeah. So that's what like it does whatever we wanted. Perfect. Now the less comprehensive setup of guides the documents. It's also creating the document if you want, right? So it has created everything for us. You can see it has created the data provider. It has created the parameterize. So what it is asking, configure has been working on the problem. Will continue updating settings. It has a content. Let's work on that. It is creating the setup guide as well. Okay, it's creating the documentation as well. What needs to be done? See, it has created this documentation as well. Also. So, like the person who came across will be able to understand this framework by reading into this documentation. We generally need to do that. We need to document everything because, like, if some new person joins our team, he or she should be able to understand what this framework is doing. What are different components are there in this particular framework? So, like every time I cannot go, or the team member cannot go and let them know what it is and how it is. Better we need to document it so that whenever new team members join in, he or she probably can go through those documentation and understand it. You know, right? How documentation helps us. That's what how it is. It's creating that documentation as well. The significance of each and every component. See, project summary.md, it created that file. Here it is. Perfect. Let me create the final utility file to handle the common test scenarios. Let it do. It has created 26 files. You can see over here. 26 files has been changed. So if you go through this log, you will be able to understand step by step what it does. Now tell me, so isn't it a threat or isn't it a challenge if you do not know how to use it, right? In fact, like my 3 weeks time has been reduced to 1 week now. I can leverage this. I just need to align it with my business requirement and I'll be ready with 1 week. Just in 1 week, I'll be ready with my framework. The estimation of 3 weeks is reduced to 1 week now. At the same time, I might be needing some helping hands to do this. I do not need them now. Now it's asking me to push the changes. See, right? It's asking me to push the changes into the GitLab or the GitHub. So the framework is ready. Now it's asking me, do I need to push these changes into the GitHub, right? The remote repository. It's asking me to do that. I'll just say skip. No, I don't want to do that at the. It will take a while, but yes, it's doing everything for us. So meantime, it's working. Okay, it's updating the comprehensive summary and the guide there. So let it work. You can see the framework creation dot this is completed. I got the message now. From his end, perfect. The framework is completed. Let me create the final summary document. Now, from his end is done with the framework creation. So don't interrupt it in between. Let him do what he wants to, and then probably after that we can modify, update it as per our business requirement. So as we ask him to create all the documentation, that's what like he's creating each and everything very in a proper way. It has verified all source code directories. Perfect. Now let me create a final comprehensive file listing. Now it's creating the list of the files. What are different files it has there in the framework. This is done. Now it's been done. Framework creation completed. And this is what the history. Okay, is done from here. Is it framework creation completed? I have successfully created the comprehensive Selenium with Java automation testing framework in the settings folder. Here is what the delivered and what he has delivered. So comprehensive package included four Java source files. Right, these are the different 14 source files. So these are the files, 9 documents files. So this is how the documentation it has been created. So now this documentation will help you what these files will gonna go, what is the significance of these different files. This documentation will gonna go and help you. Else, like probably you may not be able to understand what these files are all about, because this is a Java based code and this is the explanation of that, what this particular classes signifies. Configuration file. These are the five configurations file: pom.xml, testng.xml, config property, log4j property, git ignore. Then the key features. What type of object model, what type of framework it has been designed, page object model, industry standard pattern. This is what something which is used in the current IT industry, right? Page object model design pattern. Everyone is using this. That's what it has using. Create local driver to perform the parallel execution. Yeah. Thread local parallel execution over here. This is thread save for the parallel execution.
वो बोल
100
उल्टी
plus
से
it is,
खाने लग रहा है उधर।
sorry.
पापा को दे देना है। वहाँ पे लोग आए ना, वहाँ के लोग उधर खाते रहते हैं आज।
Yes, please go on mute if you're not speaking. Right. So then like utilities, common methods, operations, automatic logging, screen capture. It will also capture the screen. Right? It will take the screenshot. If something is failed, it will gonna go and take the screenshot. Log for the integration, configuration drive, 7 working test cases. It did created the 7 working test cases. That's what ready to run. That's what it's saying. Those are ready to run. And then production ready. Performance color. This is ready for production, right? This has been created. Everything has been created. And to quick start, like you need to, we need to do all this thing, clean, install, and test. So if I do this, so probably it will gonna go and work, right? So just understand, like let's see it in like over here. This is what the pom.xml file. Yeah? We do have all the files here, right? This is what the MD file. See, what documentation, all documentation, conference even, like I will never create. I know I used to not create all this documentation because it take a lot. See, it take a huge time to create such kind of documentation. We generally not create that. We simply like record the session and give it to everyone. This is what we generally do because that makes easy for us. That saves lots of time. So that's what how it is. So what we can do now? So let's see, right? So this is what the files. Let's go ahead and see the files one by one. Java, see the listeners file. So now this is something the challenging. Like the person who understands this logic, right? What this classes signifies, that person will be able to understand the what it has been written over here, right? So let me close all these files and we'll go over here. Yeah. So we'll go from this side. So if I just go to the test, so this is what the test cases has been written. Utils, target files. This is what see all code is basically been written by this. See the test cases also been written. Cursors and everything is right. Test base. This is also been given. All code base is been given. Now I just need to go understand, execute, and fix it. If some things are not working, I just need to go ahead and work on it. So driver manager. So probably you may be able to understand it, right? So if you just work on any the drivers, so you'll be able to understand. But it has created it for the parallel execution. So if you can see web driver is equal to thread local dot get driver. So it's initializing the driver there, right, to work on. So web driver manager factory. This is the configuration. You can see the Chrome driver dot create Chrome driver. Firefox create Firefox driver. And any other like create Chrome driver by default. And then it will gonna go and return that driver, right? That is what it is. So what are different browsers it's gonna go and work on? It will work on the Chrome browser and Firefox browser. It has two browsers configuration over here as of now. And then quit the driver. It will gonna go and kill the driver. It will gonna close the driver, right? This is what how it is. Yeah. So don't you think, guys, like this is really something which is, you need to learn and understand. Yeah. So this is something, and it has given me the command as well. What command I need to use to quick start with. What I can do is simply go ahead and try to fire this command over here. Let's see if it, clear all this out. So I just copied this command when it's saying quick start. I just copied that and pasted it over here. Let's see. Instead of going me and fixing all these things, probably it will show some errors there if it didn't work. So it's creating some, it's writing some command here, right? See on my command prompt is firing this command, maven clean install. So let's see. It's working on that. So when we run this first time, it will gonna go and take time because it will gonna download all the dependencies. So if, when I say dependencies, if you go to this pom.xml, so this is what all dependencies we need. Yeah. So you can see over here what type of different automation tools we need, right? Properties. So we need this Selenium, right? So this is Selenium dependency. So all these dependencies are there. So it will gonna go and download all these dependencies. You can see it has started downloading all these dependencies. So it will download, it will error out, it will show this is not compatible, that is not compatible. So we need to do that. We need to fix all those based on our machine structure, based on our accesses, right? This is something which is we need to deep dive and look into. Over here, you can see we have the problems. It gives me the solution, quick fix. Try to fix it. So I accepted the fix. Is fixing the challenges on the fly, right? I'm just accepting the challenges. See, it has modified it. Now we left with one error in this file. Okay, let me fix that. I guess it's already here. So wait, this is what it's been resolved. It's giving me like what is the challenge? What are different modules I can use? Okay, I'll accept it. Right? All things has been gone. Let's close this file. So the all error over here got fixed. So let me try to is updating the files. You can see over here. What is my motto is over here is right. So I got this framework structure over here, complete framework structure, right? I can leverage it. I do not need to write each and every component by my own, right? So if I go over here, all these components, I can directly leverage this. I just need to fix these challenges there and it will be done. It will be sorted out. So we can ask him to rewrite all these things if you want. Yeah. So if I want now, let's take an example. If I have some particular XYZ website there with me, and if I want to write a login test for that, I can do that. So if I go here, like let's take an example. This is for the website. Yeah. So one practice website. So if I want to write a login test for this, I can ask him to write a login test. Yeah. So over here, sign up or the login test, right? So we do have the test cases as well available here. So we can ask to create the test cases according to that as well. Yeah. So what I can do is I'll just copy this website and I'll give one prompt here. This is what our current framework. So it will update everything based on this file here. I'll say create login test case uh, in in current frame application. Okay. So now I have given him the application link. This is what my application link. And what I'm asking it to create a login test case for this application. That's what I'm asking him to do. Yeah. Let's see. So it will rewrite this classes and packages again to align with this particular uh, URL. Let's do it. It's working on it. It will update these files. It's working on that. It's reading the bounded file, configuration file. So you can see it has created new there. Automation exercise login page. Yeah. So now it's giving like this is what the first is what we just created the structure, the skeleton. Now we have given them the particular URL, the application URL where it should gonna go and work, read that and create the login test for that. It's doing that. It's updating all his configuration. There's a skeleton which he has been created. So it's updating all the skeletons and making align with this application URL which we have specified. Let it do. So perfect. Let me create the compressed login page. It has been done. Let me create the documentation, exercise, test engineer file XML has been updated, creating documentation, working on it. It has updated the documentation as well. Probably I might have skipped this documentation. But yes, I want to show you like how it has been helpful in all areas. See, for this one test case, it's changed 36 file has been changed. It did change the 36 file because it's aligning the configuration with the URL which we have specified there. Let me create the final index file to easy navigation. As it is the first test case, it's gonna go and take time because it needs to integrate all pages and all component together, right? So it has to analyze all code and then we need to integrate. Once the one test case has been done, and if it is running successfully, then it will be very easy for him to write the upcoming test cases because in that way the integration is already been done. That has been done now, right? It wrote that test case. So this is what like Maven test T and automation test. That's what like he if we want to test it, so quick access to test the execution. So this is what its command has been given to us, so we can execute this. Framework complete and ready to execute. See, it's given us the status, right? The framework completed and ready to execute. Let's see if it is ready to execute or not. Yeah. So it has what it did. It created the test case over here. This automation exercise login page has been created, and probably it did create the test case there. Ah, this is what the test has been created. Automation execution login test. This test case has been created. Let me try. Let's see whether it is gonna execute this test case or not. Let's see. Let's give it a try. This is what the command it has been given to us. Let's try to execute. Let's see what it's gonna do for us. So I'm running the test case. Okay. See, it has fixed everything. I told you, right? It will gonna go and fix. It has fixed everything. Now it's running the test case. See, the browser has been launched. I told you, right? See, it launched the browser and test case is, you know, see, it has started the automation. I told you, right? It will gonna go and fix all the challenges. It fixed all things by himself. See, it's logging. Yeah, it enter username, password there. So again, launch the browser. See now, in 1 hour, we designed the framework, we wrote the test cases, and like it's doing that operation. It's trying to log in, but this user ID and password is not valid. That's what, like, obviously, these are the example, right? Test user at that example.com. This is not a valid username. So it's showing incorrect username and password there, which is absolutely true. It maximizes the browser, it's launched the Chrome, it's doing its stuff there. This is what how it is. It's trying to launch with different users. This is what happens. So we need to understand all these things. I design everything in front of you, right? With simple, plain English, and it's up and running. It's trying to enter that username and password, which is wrong. It tried a couple of times, but it will try some more times. It fakes all the errors. That is something which is really, good to know. Initially, we had enough errors there, so it fixed all those and working on the application. See, now again it enter the different user, test user one at the rate test.com. It's trying to log in with different users to make it happen. But as this none of the user has been created, it will fail again and again. Which is true, right? Which is true. That's a true scenario. I'll stop it. Not sure how many users it has. I'll say cancel. I'll say stop it. Will fix successfully? Yes. We have seen it. Will succeed. Right? It fixed everything there. We do not have any error. See, we do not have any error now. Everything has been fixed, and you saw yourself. The application was launched, and it was trying to log in with different users there. But all users IDs are whatever it has been trying there. So those are not up to the mark. Those are the invalid users. So it took some test 1, 2, 3, 4 users there, which is not valid. That's what how it is. Now you need to think of, guys, everything is in front of you, right? So we write it from the scratch. We use the complete AI power. I did nothing. I just simply gave them the simple prompts. It has designed the framework. It has ran the test cases. Everything in front of you. That is something which is the power of AI. So you may or may not be came across such kind of things before, but yes, that's what how it is. All right. So it's up to you. You got my number. You have my number. Let me know if you want. If you really interested to learn and go ahead and upskill yourself. I'm there to help you, support you. All right. So do let me know